Justin, when you took over this team, they were 2-7. As of that victory, you're now in the postseason.
Yep.
It's your first gig coaching senior professional men. What's the level of your personal satisfaction, right?
Is at an all-time high. You know, I couldn't imagine where, I can't even lie to you, I don't think I would have been saying we would be at this spot when I was asked to take over by the management in late November. But I had, before the season started, I had admiration of this team, you know, playing as well or having some success. Never knew what it would be. But being here right now and being part of it, or, you know, and the head coach and leading these guys into the playoffs is an unbelievable feeling.
And I know that you'll be embarrassed by this, Tyler, but since Justin took over, Lee and John really now have most wins in the league, 12 of them. So what do you think the bloke sitting beside him, the job he's been able to do with the team?
Yeah, I think, you know, from the first day that JT took over, you know, he was just honest with us, you know, talked about our situation that we were in, and, you know, he always had that belief in us. And we felt that as players, and that's all you can want from your head coach, to have belief in you guys as a player, and that gives us, you know, the free reign to make those decisions out there on the court. And it's been a blast playing for him. It's you know, for me, you know, this is my 4th year here in the Gong, man, and, you know, to share this, you know, it's my last year on the contract, but to share it with JT, these last how many games we had with him, it's been unbelievable, man. I go home just ready for the next day to go to work, and it's not even work, it's fun. So we just got to keep this thing rolling. I know he probably doesn't want me talking about him, but he's been unbelievable. It's been really fun.
You were smashing the glass in that first half, Justin, and your turnovers were down to really keeping Perth in the contest. When you fixed that in the third, was that the game right there? You cut your turnover rate?
Yeah, I felt that if we did, you know, slow it, we wanted to keep the same pace that we always play, up tempo, but we wanted to take care of the ball. And I talked about guys getting, you know, out of their comfort zone of, you know, if we put them in a bad situation, handling the ball or trying to make a play that they're normally not used to. And once we fixed that and understood that and started moving the ball more, and guys started to feel free and get their shots, and knew where we wanted to get inside, get back to going inside. And so once we got back to Gary and Sam inside, we knew that was going to free up Tyler and everybody else, but we wanted to kind of slow down as far as like what we were capable of doing as an individual. Team-wise, we wanted to keep that pace.
But obviously Bryce Cotton had 29, I think it was off 9 shots, they were minus 13 when he was on the floor. As much as he got points, he still seemed to do a good job on him. I don't want any trade secrets here, but you must be happy you have a guy that's that good that you managed to put a clamp on, given, you know, potentially for me.
For sure. I think that, you know, we knew that Bryce was going to find his way. You know what I mean? He's a professional scorer, so we've been lucky the first 2 games. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to really say luck. I just think that we've been locked in because our guys know the plan, and we have multiple guys that can kind of frustrate him. Stop him, you know, he's a professional scorer. He's going to figure it out. But slow him down and aggravate him, that's kind of what we wanted to do. And he got a kind of a groove today, but not what Bryce Cotton groove. So as long as we was able to, you know, have him up and down a little bit here and there, I felt that we were still in control.
Probably game probably swung really on that going into the third quarter. Dave was like fighting people. He's done and he's doing everything. We've spoken a lot about it in the last couple of weeks, but well, coming on and being able to not just give you minutes to rest guys, but to actually come up now with a game shifting 10 points, wouldn't jump off the score sheet, but that was game shifting minutes.
Yes, it definitely was. With this team, you got a lot of people to worry about. You know, me and my staff, we talk about how does team scout us, you know, because we have so many multiple guys that can do things, and then our offensive sets varies from improvising and normal sets. So Davo just takes advantage of that. And so like most guys, he's like, hey, you got to worry about Tyler and Gary and Lee and maybe, you know, sometimes J-Rob on the court. Then you got to like, hey, we got to help off somebody. But Davo is very aggressive, and he's finding his ways to be effective out there. And so once he does that, it just enhances us way more.
Told Mercury this week to the fans, if you show up, we'll show out. You say that.
Yep. We did exactly that. They showed up, we showed out for them, and I was happy that the fan base was there and they was engaged from the beginning of the game. And I mean, there was some times where, you know, the Perth got hot and kind of like either took the lead or, you know, tied the game back up, but our fans were there for us from the jump. So I mean, I'm very supportive and happy how much they've been supporting us.
It's even in Tyler's time, Hawks have gone to the playoffs, had a lot of success and everything else, but there just seems to be something about this run, people call it fairy tale run, everything else, probably from where you started. Do you have to sort of push that aside and say, no, our stands are here, we're chasing the top, or can you lean into that and just go, let's enjoy this ride?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both. A little bit of both. I think that we're some of our guys on our team have won grand finals. Some of our guys on our team have, like I said, played in the NBA. Or some of our guys on our team have had bad seasons, right? And so, I think that we have enough experience with everybody in there to understand that yes, we want to enjoy this, but we know what the expectation is of ourselves going into the going into the playoffs, and that's giving ourselves a chance to win. We don't want to go backwards. We've built enough hype around us, and I don't even think it's hype right now. I think we've solidified ourselves of who we are and who we can become for the next couple of weeks.
Tyler, what's it like to be back in the playoffs? It's been such a ride for you to be back there from where you were early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I reflect on my first 2 years here and that feeling of being in the playoff. It's just different. The atmosphere is different. Every single minute's important. Every single possession's important, and you kind of crave that feeling. And last year, obviously, we didn't get that opportunity, and I appreciate winning a lot more. Just through the roller coasters that we've gone through last year and just the beginning of this year, I really do appreciate it. I love going to war with these guys, and it feels good to be back. Our owner said we never went anywhere, but it does feel good to solidify ourselves in that 4. But we still have work to do. We can't be satisfied with just being in the playoffs. We have bigger goals, and JT tells us every day we just got to stay locked in one game at a time, and let's see where that takes us.
Is it a challenge to do that? It's been such this push of playoffs here, it's great, and you've also got a gap before you start playing those games. Is it a challenge to reset again and say, no, we're still going, and sort of put aside this part of the battle?
No, I don't think it's a challenge at all. I think, everybody on our team knows what we're capable of doing when we're all locked in, and we've been locked in from the jump. It's not always going to go our way. There's going to be times where, teams go on runs, we go on runs. You might not win every game, but if we just stay true to what we've done to get ourselves to this point, I like our odds. So we're just going to try to stay locked into that, block out the noise, and let's just keep going.
Excellent performance. How do you take this momentum into Sunday, knowing that Melbourne are locked in first, but will not sit back? They'll still have a lot to play for.
The momentum is great. We know that we have since going into Sunday, that we know we kind of solidified ourselves in the playoff spot, but our goal is to finish off a winning season. And that's kind of what I told the guys, before we broke out in the locker room, that, Melbourne is a team that has had our number. We've lost 2 games. We have not beat everybody in the league, and Melbourne is one team that we haven't got a chance to play collectively up under my helm. And we want to find a way to win that game, but we want to win because we want to end the season, have a winning season in 23-24. So that's kind of our finishing goal for the regular season.
Kyle got his first points in lots of years here in Wollongong. He's back in Wollongong now. And how are you preparing him now that he's going to face his former side?
Well, I never thought about that, so that's very new to me. But Kyle has been great since we've had him in the last 8 to 10 weeks. 8 to 10 games. That Kyle's been great since he's been here. He's like an extra coach on the bench. So anything where I can reward one of our players at any time with their sacrifice, what they've been doing at practice and off the court, I'll do my best. But just little things like that I don't know too much about, but I just know he was ready to go when I called his number.
Hey Tyler, when it comes to playing the Wildcats, the Perth Wildcats done a job on Illawarra over the decades. Their winning percentage is 70%. It's been the team that Illawarra has struggled with year after year, decade after decade. Yet this season, you've inflicted their 3 biggest losses to sweep them. I know you might play Perth in the finals, but right now, how do you feel about beating a top 2 team to the extent you have this season?
To be honest, I think beating any team in this league it's a job. There's no game you go into if you're not firing on all cylinders. It's going to be a long night. So yes, Perth's a great team, but every single team in this league is. You can see by the standings and the wins. So, I try not to look into the storylines like that, man. I try to stay away from that. But I think what JT's done a great job with just locking in. Just each game is its own game. You can't worry about the past. You try not to look into the future. You can't worry about matching up with them in the playoffs. That stuff doesn't matter. You got to stay locked into the task at hand, or else the team you're playing is going to blow you out. So, we just try to focus on the moment that we're in, but. I don't really follow too much about the storylines. I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's just, we're athletes competing, and, sometimes emotions just fire up, but I think we're all good.
All good, man.
All right, fellas, appreciate it. See you next week.